All right, you sick fucks, grab a drink and get ready. Because today, we're diving headfirst into the whole K-pop shit show. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about Yang Hyun-suk, this mastermind behind YG Entertainment. You know, the company that, like, manufactures these polished K-pop groups.
Yeah, basically the guy pulling the strings behind some of the biggest names, like...
Except this puppet master's got some seriously fucked up strings tangled up all around him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The dude's career has been a total roller coaster, highs and lows. And we're gonna, like, break it all down.
Right on. So let's rewind back to the beginning, the origin story. This guy was part of Seo Tae-ji Boys back in the 90s. They were like the fucking Beatles of Korea, but with like way more hip-hop and way more angst.
Totally, yeah. They, like, totally changed the game. Back then, Korea was all about ballads and, like, super clean-cut pop.
Yeah.
And then these guys come in with their rap and rock and all this social commentary, piss off a lot of the older generation.
So they were like the bad boys of K-pop, huh?
Exactly. Censorship protests, they faced it all. But they also had a massive impact on Korean youth,
Yeah.
and basically paved the way for the modern K-pop sound we know today.
Interesting. So how did this rebel dude end up as the CEO of a whole K-pop empire?
Well, after Seo Tae-ji Boys disbanded, Yang took all that experience, all that rebellious energy, and he channeled it into creating YG Entertainment in '96. He just knew what young people wanted, and he knew how to package it.
And then boom, right, Big Bang, 2NE1, BLACKPINK. These groups weren't just popular, they were like global fucking phenomena.
Totally. He had a talent for spotting raw talent and turning it into gold. He built YG's whole rep on, like, putting boundaries, taking risks, creating groups that were different.
He basically turned K-pop into a global force.
He's definitely one of the key figures in K-pop's international success. Brought a unique style, a certain swagger,
Yeah.
and he had the business smarts to help elevate the whole genre.
Okay, but let's cut the crap. Things went south. And I'm not talking about a little hiccup. I'm talking like a full-blown train wreck. What the hell was up with that Burning Sun scandal?
Yeah, that was a dark time for YG Entertainment. Basically, it was a nightclub associated with YG that became the center of this huge scandal. Drugs, sexual assault allegations, and, like, police corruption.
It basically exposed the whole underbelly of the K-pop world.
Right.
Like, all the dark shit that people didn't want to talk about.
For sure. It raised questions about the exploitation of young idols, the power dynamics in the industry, and the culture of silence that protects these abusers.
And Yang was right in the middle of it.
He was. There were allegations of him being involved in some shady business dealings with the club. The whole thing just exploded in his face.
So in 2019, he steps down from YG, throws in the towel, says fuck it, and walks away.
Yeah, the pressure was insane. Protests, boycotts, investigations. He was basically forced to resign to try and save the company's reputation.
But get this. In 2022, he's acquitted of some of the charges against him. Looks like he's off the hook, right?
Not so fast. Plot twist in 2023 that acquittal gets overturned.
Hold on, what the fuck? This is some serious legal gymnastics.
Yeah.
So what did they actually nail him for?
Threatening a witness. They convicted him of using his power and influence to silence someone involved in a drug case. Straight up intimidation tactics.
So not exactly a saint then.
Nope. Not exactly. He got a suspended sentence, but the damage was done. It was a huge blow to his reputation, and it left a big stain on YG's legacy.
But this motherfucker doesn't stay down for long. Now he's back, all smiles and swagger with this new girl group, Baby Monster. Talk about a comeback story.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. He's trying to rebrand himself, reclaim his spot in the industry.
But it ain't gonna be easy, right?
No way. He's got a lot of baggage to deal with.
And this Baby Monster thing is already stirring up some shit. These girls are young. Like, seriously young.
Yeah, that's adding another whole layer to the situation. Yang's even said that their age resonates with him. He's got a daughter around the same age. Some people are creeped out, others are calling it exploitative.
Damn. All right, so we've got this disgraced CEO making a comeback with a group of literal teenagers. This shit's already writing itself. So tell me more about Baby Monster. Who are they? What's their deal?
Well, they're a 7-member girl group, and they've been generating a ton of buzz even before their official debut. YG's been teasing their skills, dropping all these, like, slick videos of them dancing and singing. It's classic YG hype, building that anticipation and mystery.
Yeah, YG's notorious for their training system. It's like a K-pop pressure cooker. They churn out these polished, insanely talented performers. But with all the baggage Yang's carrying, do you think Baby Monster can actually make it?
It's a gamble for sure. On the one hand, they've got the whole YG machine behind them, the training, the production, the marketing. YG knows how to make stars. But on the other hand, there's this massive cloud hanging over them.
It's like trying to sell a Ferrari with a blown engine. People are going to be hesitant.
Exactly. Some fans are already saying they'll boycott the group because of Yang. It's a moral dilemma, you know?
Yeah.
Can you separate the art from the artist, especially when the artist is this controversial?
It's a tough one.
Aye.
And, you know, the K-pop world is all about image. This whole thing could blow up in Yang's face.
It could. Or it could have the opposite effect. All this controversy could actually fuel Baby Monster's popularity. Bad publicity is still publicity, right?
True. Look at some of those American rappers. The more fucked up shit they do, the more famous they get. Maybe K-pop's the same.
It's possible. There's definitely a segment of the fan base that's drawn to that bad boy rebel image. They might see Yang's return as a big fuck you to the establishment, and that could resonate with them.
So basically, Yang's rolling the dice, hoping people will either forget about all the shady shit or just not give a fuck.
Pretty much. And it's not just about Baby Monster either. This comeback is also about Yang trying to redeem himself, you know, to get his place back in the industry.
Yeah, but can he really pull it off?
Yeah.
This guy's been dragged through the mud. Does he even have the energy for this shit anymore?
He's putting on a brave face, for sure. He's been popping up in YG's promotional videos, talking about the future of the company, all smiles and swagger.
Yeah.
But you can tell there's a lot riding on this.
So if we're talking redemption, what's he got to do to win back the public? Is it even possible at this point?
It's an uphill battle, that's for sure. First, he needs to actually acknowledge the past, the mistakes that were made, and take some real responsibility for his actions.
Yeah, that whole "I'm sorry if I did anything wrong" bullshit ain't gonna cut it.
Exactly. He needs to show genuine remorse, not just issue some carefully crafted PR apology. He also needs to prove that he's learned from his mistakes and that he's committed to changing things.
So like actual changes to how YG operates?
Right.
No more shady backroom deals, no more silencing witnesses.
Right. He needs to show that he's changed the culture at YG. Make it a place where artists are protected and ethical behavior is a priority.
But let's be real. That's a tall order.
Mm.
The K-pop industry is notorious for its cutthroat practices. Can one dude, even someone as powerful as Yang, really change all that?
It's a systemic problem, no doubt, but Yang's situation could be a catalyst for change. The scandal and his conviction put a spotlight on some of the darker aspects of the industry.
Yeah, and people are pissed off. They want to see things change.
Right, so if Yang can actually walk the walk, not just talk the talk, he could potentially set a new standard for K-pop agencies.
Okay, so let's say he does all that apologizes, changes. YG cleans up his act. Do you think the public will actually forgive him? Will they be able to separate the music from the man?
That's the million-dollar question. It'll depend on a lot of factors: how sincere he seems, how Baby Monster performs, how the public perceives YG's actions moving forward. Redemption's a long game.
And let's not forget there are victims involved in all this. People whose lives were impacted by the Burning Sun scandal and by Yang's actions. Forgiveness isn't going to be easy.
Absolutely. It's important to remember that this isn't just about Yang and his career. There are real people who were hurt, and their voices deserve to be heard.
Right. All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about YG Entertainment itself. This company is a K-pop factory churning out hit after hit. What's their secret sauce? What makes them so successful?
Well, a big part of it is their focus on artist development. They take these young trainees and put them through years of rigorous training. Singing, dancing, rapping, stage presence, they cover it all. It's like a K-pop boot camp.
Yeah, and it shows YG artists are known for their stage presence, their charisma. They're not just pretty faces lip-syncing to a track. They're performers.
Right. And YG is really good at creating a distinctive style for their groups. They have this signature sound, this edgy, hip-hop-infused vibe that sets them apart from other K-pop agencies.
They're not afraid to take risks either. Like 2NE1 was totally different from anything else out there at the time. They were fierce, bold, experimental. And BLACKPINK Global Domination. They're like the K-pop Spice Girls, but with way more swagger.
Exactly. YG has this knack for pushing boundaries, anticipating trends. They're always one step ahead of the game.
And they're masters of marketing. They know how to build hype, create buzz, make their artists seem larger than life.
Yep. Social media, music videos, collaborations, they use every tool at their disposal to build anticipation and reach a global audience.
It's a well-oiled machine. But with Yang back at the helm, can that machine keep running smoothly?
That's the big question. His return has definitely thrown a wrench into things.
Yeah, it's like trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. Can he adapt to the new K-pop landscape? Can he still connect with today's fans?
It's a different world than it was when he first started. K-pop has evolved, The fans are more demanding, more aware of the issues within the industry, and the competition is fiercer than ever.
And let's be honest, Yang's got some serious baggage now. He's alienated a lot of people. Can he win them back?
It's a long shot, but stranger things have happened. We'll have to wait and see how this whole thing plays out.
So let's zoom out for a minute and talk about the bigger picture. This whole Yang Hyun-suk saga. What does it say about the K-pop industry as a whole? What are your thoughts?
Well, it exposes the dark side of the fame machine, you know? The pressure, the exploitation, the power dynamics that can lead to abuse.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the glitz and glamour, the catchy tunes, the perfect choreography. But behind the curtain, there's a lot of darkness, a lot of young people being chewed up and spit out by the system.
Exactly. And Yang's case is a reminder that the industry needs more transparency, more accountability. We need to protect these young artists, make sure their rights are respected.
Preach. So what do you think needs to change? What are some concrete steps that could make the K-pop industry a safer, fairer place for everyone involved?
For starters, we need stronger regulations to protect young trainees from exploitation. These kids are often signing contracts when they're barely teenagers, and they don't always understand the implications.
Yeah, it's like signing your life away. They're basically indentured servants to these agencies. And what about the mental health of these artists? They're under immense pressure to be perfect, to perform at their peak all the time. It's got to take a toll.
Absolutely. We need better mental health support systems within the industry. These artists need access to therapists, counselors, people who can help them cope with the stress and pressure.
And what about the fans? K-pop stans are notoriously passionate, bordering on obsessive sometimes. They can be a powerful force for good, but they can also be really toxic.
Yeah, fan culture is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, fans are incredibly devoted and supportive. They can mobilize to promote their favorite artists, raise money for charities, speak out against injustice. But on the other hand, they can also be incredibly judgmental and demanding.
And they can be brutal, like death threats. Brutal. It's fucked up.
It is. We need to foster a more positive and respectful fan culture, where artists are treated as human beings, not just idols to be worshipped.
It's a lot to unpack, but it's important to have these conversations, to shine a light on the problem so we can start finding solutions.
Right. We can't just ignore the dark side of the industry. We need to acknowledge it, address it, and work towards creating a better future for K-pop, for the artists, for the fans, for everyone.
So back to Yang. Let's say hypothetically he pulls this off. Baby Monster becomes a global phenomenon. YG Entertainment thrives. And he somehow manages to rehab his image. What's next for him? What's the end game here?
Well, he's always been ambitious. I wouldn't be surprised if he sets his sights on expanding YG's global reach even further, maybe venturing into new markets, creating new partnerships, building a K-pop empire that spans the globe.
Like some kind of K-pop Thanos snapping his fingers and taking over the world?
Yeah, something like that. But seriously, Yang's got a vision, and he's not afraid to go after it. He wants YG to be the biggest, most influential entertainment company in the world, and now that he's back, he's going to be even more relentless in pursuing that goal.
So buckle up, kids.
Yeah.
The Yang Hyun-suk roller coaster is back on track, and who knows where the hell it's going to take us next.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the whole industry reacts to his comeback, you know? Will the other big K-pop agencies welcome him back, or will he be treated like a fucking leper? I think it'll be a mixed bag, honestly. There are probably some CEOs who are secretly stoked he's back. They probably see him as a valuable asset to the industry, someone who can push boundaries and challenge the status quo, you know? But there are definitely others who are going to be wary, maybe even hostile. They might see him as a liability, a reminder of all the industry's dirty laundry.
Yeah. Can you imagine those award show encounters? The fake smiles, the forced politeness, all that passive-aggressive Korean bullshit.
Dude, it's going to be a field day for the gossip blogs. Every interaction is going to be analyzed for hidden meanings and shade. The K-pop world loves a good drama, and Yang's return is going to be like throwing gasoline on a fire.
Speaking of drama, what about the other YG artists? How are they dealing with all this? They've built their careers under the YG banner, but now the guy who created that banner is this super controversial figure.
It's a tough spot for them. They have to balance their loyalty to the company with their own personal beliefs. Some might publicly support Yang's return, while others might choose to stay silent. And then there are the fans. They're going to have strong opinions about all this, and they're not afraid to make those opinions known.
Yeah, the K-pop fandom is intense. It's like a cult, but with better dance moves.
Yeah.
They can make or break a career.
It's true. They have a lot of power. And they're going to be watching Yang's every move, scrutinizing his actions, judging his motives. Is he going to be under a microscope?
Okay, so let's wrap this shit up. We've covered a lot of ground today. Yang Hyun-suk, the rise, the fall, the comeback. What are your final thoughts on this whole saga?
It's a complex story. Yang is a talented dude. He achieved incredible success, but he also made some serious mistakes. And those mistakes had consequences. Whether he can truly redeem himself, I don't know. It remains to be seen. It's going to depend on his actions, his sincerity, and ultimately, the public's willingness to forgive.
Yeah, he's at a crossroads for sure. This comeback could be his second chance or it could be his final downfall. Only time will tell. All right, you beautiful degenerates. That's it for today's deep dive. Go forth and ponder this shit. Can Yang Hyun-suk actually redeem himself? Or does this comeback just setting the stage for another epic downfall? Hit us up on social media and let us know what you think. And until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and don't be a dick.